Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily, not daily, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at what you're doing, what I'm doing, what the world is doing. Well, not really the world. We try to focus on news from Mexico and, of course, from our city and our state. And we share all this information with one another so that we can collect what's best for us and try to have a wonderful life here in Puerto Vallarta. Today is Friday, March 4th. So another week has gone by, another work week. And let's start with, oh my goodness, of course we can do this. Victor, you know, I have to tell you, you have excellent taste because you married Sue. And Sue has excellent taste because she married you. And what has this got to do with anything? Well, today is Sue's birthday. So everybody join me in wishing Sue a splendid birthday. We can do a snarky happy birthday. Or we can do a festive happy birthday. Either way, let us try to make Sue feel special by wishing her a happy birthday. And that's what we do here. We try to make everyone feel special unless we misbehave. And then we don't make each other feel special at all. So, and I mean that both ways, by the way. Anyhow, today, as always, we welcome new friends. We welcome clusteries, not clustered. We'll welcome clusteries, new members of the cluster, to let us know that you're new. How do you do that? Just write the word new in your comments and we'll be so very happy to give you a cheerful welcome. If you have something truly important to share, it helps a great deal to do what Victor did. He put a big Q at the beginning of his comment, and that way we brought it up. And I might as well get to this because it's right in front of my face. This is from Meggie, as in Peggy. She brought up, oh, good. She brought up this issue of a dog that was injured, and now she has found a solution for her friend. Today, the good ladies of Sula Society will pick the dog up from the shelter and take her into their rescue. Thank you for all the suggestions yesterday. It looks like a village. It took a village, but the dog is now safe. See, that's what's wonderful about hanging out here at Coffee and Headlines, or whatever community you choose to hang out at. We thrive on seeing nurturing connections take place. And we're going to have some nurturing news today, and some news that will allow us to connect. We're going to have some stinky news. Why not? We usually have stinky news as well. So I think it's ready. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's start with the stinky stuff. Yesterday, we reported an upcoming series of tests to be conducted at local beaches to certify that the ocean water, is fit for swimming. And now, a new stream of caca water trickling down to Los Muertos Beach has been reported. Nice. Folks in the Olas Altas vicinity have reported sewage water on the beach. That's a tough one. On the beach, indicating that apparently somebody is letting the caca water out at night. Evening discharges. I don't know if it takes place at night or at day, but the whole notion that there is sewage water going into what is clearly Puerto Vallarta's most popular beach is sending bad vibes to me. And look at those horrible photos. And I'm sure that foamy black stuff or brown stuff is not necessarily caca water, but it sure does look disgusting at a place where we know that there is no river. So whatever is causing all this foamy stuff on the screen is not coming from a river. So ew, we don't want to go swimming there today or tomorrow. No, thank you. Now, let's see, what else do we have? The workers at City Hall and other government buildings have now gone on strike after the firefighters went on strike. And the city workers are claiming bad treatment, humiliation, and the lowering of their salaries. As our friend Michael Buford mentioned yesterday, this week may not be the best week to take care of official business at any of the local government offices, as the people that are on strike are not letting anybody in or out. It is worth mentioning that a strike of this magnitude has not occurred in Puerto Vallarta in 3 decades. So we hope that the workers will find some common ground with the government and they will find a solution to their demands. Now, the headline in this article is the never-ending construction of the Quale Bridge. That's what the headline says. So the headline doesn't say anything new because we know that the construction of the Quale Bridge on Insurgentes has been somewhat never-ending, but the article does mention that even though there is no official completion date for the project, workers are presently digging the pedestrian passageway that will go under the new bridge to connect the entire island for pedestrians without having to cross a single street. And this, of course, is good news. When we went looking at the construction work a couple of weeks ago, we suspected that they were going to go ahead with this modification to the plan, and it's a good thing. Of course, once this underground passageway is completed, the construction crew will proceed to cover the... What am I doing covering the news? I'm just noticing that. I'm sorry. Once the work on the underground passageway is completed, workers will cover it in the final portion that remains to be covered, the central part of the bridge, which is, of course, missing. Will this thing be ready in 5 weeks, which is when Semana Santa begins? Somehow, I doubt it. And now I have good news, or things that make me smile. On December 20th of 2013, the United Nations General Assembly decided to proclaim March 3rd, that is yesterday, as World Wildlife Day. So, of course, we picked up a sweet headline from Mexico's National Commission of Protected Natural Areas. The agency reported the hatching of 35 black-footed albatrosses, 35 birds in Mexico's Isla Guadalupe, or Guadalupe Island, off the coast of Baja California. The black-footed albatross is an endangered species native to many tropical islands in the Pacific. Now, what's curious about this hatching, I mean, not only is it good news that they were born, but what's curious about this hatching is that the parents are adoptive parents. 35 fertile eggs were transported to the Guadalupe Island from the Midway National Wildlife Refuge in Hawaii and placed on nests of a different albatross species that is common at the Guadalupe Island. So, of course, the birds just saw eggs at the nest and they figured, oh my God, we might as well get busy and look after these eggs. So it worked. It worked. The eggs of the 36 eggs that were placed there, 35 hatched successfully, and now the chicks will recognize the Guadalupe Islands as their home and will return there to reproduce in 3 to 5 years. Now, this is not the first time this has been done. This is actually the second time that this experimental process has been undertaken at the Guadalupe Islands, as 27 adopted chicks had been previously born at the island in 2021. And that made me feel good, so I wanted to share that with you. And just for a little bit of context, as always, I want to show you the Guadalupe Island on the map. It's up here. It's a small little island, but it is a natural preserved space, and this is where this experiment took place. How about that? And now, of course, let us take a quick look at our weather forecast so that we can figure out what we can expect this weekend, and we'll come back with a few interesting events that I found to share with you. Your sun formed 4.6 billion years ago. Oops, I mean 6,000 years ago. I have no idea what that is in reference to, but that's what snarky weather has to say. What I have to say is that it's 27 degrees right now, feels like 26. Humidity is very low, 25%, and our Fahrenheit temperature is 81 degrees. And this means that we can look forward to a weekend that starts with a clear day today, a high temperature of 30, a low temperature of 19. Tomorrow, Saturday, another clear day with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 17. And Sunday, we will expect another clear day with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 16. Gotta love these winter days here in Puerto Vallarta, where everything gets so incredibly comfortable to be out and about. Now, before we get started with your comments, I want to share a handful of things that I spotted this morning that you may want to be interested in. I've spotted a few events, starting with the vegan restaurant, The Green Place in Cinco de Diciembre. They are announcing a vegan taco class to take place this Sunday. This sounds like fun. It is going to be imparted by Jerry Felix, a vegan nutritionist. And the class would consist in learning how to make 5 different vegan fillings for you to enjoy meat-free tacos at home. That sounds absolutely lovely. And then I spotted this one, which I would enjoy. This is a hiking tour organized by the Corazon Vallarta company, Corazon Vallarta Tours. They are organizing a hiking tour that is taking off from the Nogalito Eco Park. This is going to take place on March 26. If you love the outdoors, this may be an interesting experience for you to consider. I don't know the level of difficulty of the hike, but I'm sure that once you connect with the Facebook page for this event, you should be able to ask all the questions you like. And last but not least, a boozy bit of news. The upcoming 5th Damajuana Raicilla Festival has been announced to take place on May 13, 14, and 15. This will be the 5th edition of this excellent opportunity to get to know Raicilla. The location has not yet been announced, but I will, of course, leave the organizer's Facebook page in the show notes. I have 2 more headlines. Oh, and yesterday I forgot to mention a headline that had nothing to do with Puerto Vallarta, but in case you didn't notice the show notes, I included a wonderful Vox explainer 8-minute video, 6 to 8 minutes, I don't remember, about why the war between Russia and Ukraine is taking place. I've been following the war, of course, as many people have, but I love Vox for putting together these very basic explainer videos. And if you're wondering where the whole notion of the war came from, it's in yesterday's show notes. And today I have 2 additional news items or headlines that have nothing to do with Puerto Vallarta, or not much, but they have to do with the world and how it's affected us. The first one is a wonderful article that I started reading from Huffington Post called I've worked in the service industry for 15 years. You should be ashamed to leave a bad review right now. So, if you've gotten ugly, and many of us have, or if you've left a bad review recently, and well, I haven't, but a lot of people are using that as a little, not a weapon, but a lot of people will say, well, you're not treating me well. I'm going to leave a bad review. The article writer thinks that this is not a good time to do that. If you're curious about this, then maybe you want to read this article. And last but not least, I'm a small artist, like many small artists, and I rely on people's kindness in knowing what I do and finding me. And a lot of times it's easy for us to think, well, what can we do to help the nice people in Ukraine? Well, I found this article that may just have the answer. This is a beautiful post, again from Huffington Post. Small Ukrainian businesses you can support on Etsy right now. This is actually artists that, like myself, make a living offering things online. Other people offer art and illustrations. I offer headlines and coffee. What can I say? So if you've been wondering what you can do for the nice people in Ukraine, particularly the artists, you may want to take a look at these options. I saw some things that I would not mind pursuing, including some beautiful pet portraits. As for myself, well, I don't make a living out of my crochet, but in case you're wondering what my latest is, are you wondering? If you're wondering, I'm going to show you. If you're not wondering, I'm going to show you anyway. Well, first of all, I have this camera pouch. This is a really convenient padded pouch, which is great for photographic equipment. And the nice thing about this pouch is that it goes into any bag that I want to use, whether the bag is specifically designed for photographic equipment or not. So now I'm making a mail purse to go over to put the pouch into. And of course, me being me, it's a very discreet, very subtle project. And this is starting to look like this. This is called the crocodile stitch, by the way. Very appropriate for Puerto Vallarta. And that's what's keeping me busy during my leisurely time. And now let's get busy taking a look at your comments. 35 angry albatross husbands I read somewhere along the lines. Let me take a quick look at what you're up to. Oh, good Lord. Mike says, we made it. Happy weekend. And I hear you. We made it. And I'm so looking forward to the weekend because it's going to be a walk around and get acquainted with things. I want to go walking down to Whiskey Kitchen to see how it's looking. I want to touch base with our friend Gina to make sure that we organize a little something so we can help support this new business. Let's see what else we have. Oh, our counters. My goodness, Alan, 8 days. I remember you were counting like days in the double digits, and all of a sudden you are in the single digits. I love it. We took care of Victor's wife, Sue. Wonderful. We took care of Maggie's pet update. Let's see what else we have. Oakland is in the house, and so is Corona, California. Always great to see our friends that keep and Amapas, of course, is in the house. We love having friends near and far. This is awesome. Let's see what else we have. Lots of happy birthdays. Thank you. Carlos says hello. If you need a good masseur, Carlos is the man. He's a sweet man. And I feel myself blushing. Oh, my goodness. That's maybe because I could use a good massage. John is new, and he will be here on March 15 for 2 weeks. Good for you. It will be my 14th trip, but 2 years since my last one. Well, you'll find a lot of things changed and a lot of new ways to get engaged, John. I'm sure that you will have a good time. I saw this comment from Jenny come in when I showed you the caca water news. And of course, that ticks me off as well. Let's see. Oh, disgusting. John says caca water builds your immunity. I'm not sure that I want to go there. Let's see. Den reports, when we were in Emiliano Zapata on Monday, there was a backhoe digging a trench on the beach to try and open it up so the quality can actually flow into the ocean. The quality was pretty backed up and stagnant, fun to watch. Well, maybe that's where all the colorful foam is coming from. Ugh, I don't know. Let's see. Michael says, "Good morning, Paco." And he says so with an exclamation mark. Something tells me that Michael is in town. I do seem to recall that you were going to um, have a short stay, and I hope you enjoy it. Um, let's see what else. Karen loved the article about the albatrosses. Thank you very much, Karen. That gives me cues as to what kind of features to include and what kind of news to include here at Coffee and Headlines. And you know, nature is important here in the house. Oh, Michael arrives on Monday. Good for you. Wonderful. Javier just said 35 angry albatross husbands. Oh, imagine that. I love it. Logan is adulting from Peninsula Starbucks. I was there just 2 days ago enjoying a nice delivery of beautiful Butterfingers. Gwen recalls the good old days before raicilla was legally sanctioned. Now there are a couple of legalized raicilla manufacturers in the state. But yes, in the old days, one had to go to places like Las Animas and El Tuito and Yelapa, and you would sample this stuff. Not too long ago, we found ourselves, a group of friends, I think we were in El Tuito, and we tasted some good raicilla. And when it came time to buy a bottle, the bottle was, I think it was an old Diet Coke bottle or something like that. Let's see. Jill says you can support the people in Ukraine by renting from them on Airbnb. This is probably true, but of course you also need to find a way to get all the way from here to there. The nice thing about the options that I showed you is that you can order from the comfort of your home and just do a transaction online. Deborah asks, do you walk in the summer when it is hot and humid? Yes, we certainly do, Deborah. We live here year round, so we embrace the weather because this is home. So we might as well embrace it. There is no way I'm going to be walking during the summer months with a crochet handbag. We will be using the more temperature friendly nylon bags that I have. Let's see. Heather chimes in. So you may have mentioned, but south end of Insurgentes Bridge now paved and the sidewalk is in on one side and backhoe furiously building the tunnel underneath it. Yes, that's precisely what we reported. Jenny says, Paco, please direct me as to where to find the gallery house that you went to the other day. Oh, honey, where did I go the other day? Oh, you mean the new art gallery? Well, that's a piece of cake. You go to our website. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do this because we mention these kinds of things over and over. And sometimes I wonder if well, maybe some people are new. And so we're going to find this with you and for you together, Jenny, just because we can. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the website, paco-ojeda.com. And we're going to look at the recent shows. Now, I remember I used the art gallery as I used their facade as a photograph. And if I look here, I see that on February 25th, we walked to the new Arte Vallarta Museum. And that is where you want to click to find out the location of the place. See, you click there and you find the show notes for that day. And the show notes include the video, and the show notes include the location of the place. See, 3 mini Vallarta walking tours. And there it is, Arte Vallarta. So then you click on that, and that takes you to the Facebook page for the location. So you see, we like to take care of you. And we like to offer as much complete information as we possibly can. And we like it when you take care of us because you show gratitude to the fact that we try to make the most complete connections as we can by buying us coffee or by pursuing an ongoing subscription. And I think that brings us to the end of today's Coffee and Headlines. So, if you found a connection, if you enjoyed the news, if something made you laugh, if something made you think, if you had a good time for the last 26 minutes, kindly consider buying us coffee, sticking around, spreading the word, and doing all the wonderful things that you do to let other people know that we are here and we are English-speaking locals looking for a good quality of life in Puerto Vallarta. Have a lovely day.